I'm just so grateful to have a family that is just so awesome. And they alter their lives because of me. You don't have many people that will change their whole life or change their schedules for you. I've actually this week been reflecting just over my life and being grateful over the 25 years that I've actually dealt with this. And it's been like mind-blowing to really have people stand there, deal with my attitude problems and deal with my ups and downs, and sometimes they really didn't know why I reacted the way I reacted. And sometimes the real reason was because I was either fighting the thought of dying or feeling like I was a burden a lot of times.
Initially, we were so young. We were so young when we got married, and dealing with the lupus, it was a challenge to deal with a sickness that you really didn't know much about. The only thing I knew of it was her having it and the initial side effects of it.
I immediately began to remember the first time I heard the word lupus. I named her after my cousin Myrah, who had leukemia, and she passed away. We were raised together. But my mom's sister died with lupus. Just dealing with those side effects of the lupus, sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, it was tough.
As a mom, I was devastated at first to hear that your first child was sick. And I found out that my mom, she had passed away with lupus also. My mind wondered, how was she going to die? By seeing what happened to my cousin. She looked well. She didn't look sick, but she couldn't move. You know, so that's kind of the way I had to get myself together. And then it was before she was going away to college for the first time. So, you know, I didn't know if it was going to happen while she was away, or I just didn't know what was going to happen. We had one son. He was born healthy. So she was pregnant with a daughter, which took a turn to the left. It went bad. The pregnancy, it caused her to go to the hospital for extensive period.
It was early in the morning. My dad had already woke up and went to work. And I remember hearing something like banging on the floor. I didn't know what was going on. So I got up and I went in my parents' room and I saw my mother on the floor. I was like, Mom, like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And all she could do was cry. And me, as emotional I am, I just started crying too. But then I noticed that she had peed on herself because she was trying to get to the bathroom, but her legs wouldn't let her walk. And at that moment is when it really hit me. I was like, man, like, this is a force to be reckoned with.
When she went to the doctor, they kept her, so, and that's in Duke. We're from South Boston, Virginia. It's about an hour and a half away. So her staying in the hospital, I'm at work, and it was very tiresome. It took a toll. It took a toll on us, but I can say through all of it, it was our faith that kept us strong.
You have to be strong, so I would try to go in the other room and I would cry, and I would talk to God about it. So that's the only thing I could do.
I had to really know my faith was being challenged. So I guess the thing for me that caused me to rest was, I believe God, I believe what was prophesied, and I just was going to know everything was going to be all right.
That thing was really birthed inside of me of, like, I have to be strong for her when she can't be strong for herself.
That's when it really impacted me like that. I had to be strong and just pray for her. I always used to pray for her leg and make sure that she walked.
Every day, I would just watch her, check on her. Sometimes I just ask her how she felt. You know, sometimes she says she's all right. But I think as a mom, sometimes you already know when your child's not feeling good. And then there were days that I did see her, as they've already said, the days that she couldn't walk, or the days that I saw her crawl to the bathroom.
I believe that the Lord positions people who can handle seeing you in your ugly truth.
Certain things that I had to pick up over the years, like we're told, some things are taught and some things are caught. It was a lot that I had to catch.
As her friend at that time, for me, it was important to be a sounding board. Not coaching her, not telling her, but letting her voice what she felt.
And I believe the principles of the Bible, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So even at your worst, I know that if I create an atmosphere and speak life or things that would get your mind off of you, it would cause you to be at ease or feel better. So I would always boost her morale or anyone's morale.
I liked to have fun. I kept her laughing. I kept saying stuff to make her laugh. I kept just being me. I just didn't let lupus change who I was to her. You know, I was her support. So I just kept being that support she needed.
Just being that strong person and just allowing her to say what she needed to say. Not putting words in her mouth, not telling her how she felt, but just letting her be Myrah.
I believe as long as I feel like living or the person feel like living, you let them do what they feel that they can do. Don't take it away from them. Because no matter who you are not that individual. And what works for you doesn't necessarily work for that other individual.
I've learned that no one's lupus is the same. No matter if you have the same strand, if you're diagnosed at the same time period, like that doesn't matter. No one's lupus is the same. So I had to learn her lupus.
We've learned just to blame everything on the disease, if that's a safe way to put it. Does that make sense? Because you don't know. You have no way of knowing.
In the type of situation, you know, dealing with a sick child, a lot of parents get to a point where sometimes they want to give up. What do you think was the thing that made you not want to give up?
Well, I'm just not the type of person that ever give up on anything. So, you know, I guess, you know, I'm one of those, you know, he that endure to the end. I'm a just, you know, fighter to the end. There never was a time of me giving up.
When we were married, I knew it was a choice. I knew it was a decision that I made, and something that I had to stick with regardless of what all happened. My wife, if she didn't have lupus, how about if something happened to me? What would I want from her?
I never gave up. I don't even give up now. I just believe that God's going to bless her, that she can live a long life and do what she needs to do. Sometimes she does do a lot, and I might say, you sure you don't need to come in for a rest? She said, no, Mom, I'm going to live. So I just agree with what she says, and I just go along with whatever she says. And I just be praying for her in the background.
Even though those events that happened should have deterred my childhood, it was just the aspect of turning all of my lemons that life had gave us into lemonade. So it was like realizing that, hey, my mom might be in the bed sick, but I can be the person to both help her and learn from her, to realize that even though she's feeling this way, she's still doing what she has to do. Like, it's strength in that type of weakness.
Little Jamie has been the bulk of the family that was with me in Virginia, he and his dad. So they saw most of the process.
Just to see how, even when I know she wasn't feeling good, and when I wanted to stay at home to make sure she was okay, she would be like, no, go. Like, you're still a child. You need to experience these things. You need to know how to fellowship with others. You need to know social skills. You need to know how to be active in the community.
Anthony, as he said, he gonna pray over my legs all day, and he's gonna make sure everything is good, but Anthony's gonna have his own life after I'm good. He's not staying in the room with me. He's not gonna lay in the bed. He gonna make sure, you good, Ma? He check on me every 20 minutes.
Make sure she was eating food. Learn that she was drinking water because I know she loves water. And I make sure she was okay. Sometimes we prayed sometimes. You know, told her to lay down and get some rest when she wanted to get up and stuff.
Shuby, you know, she's just that go-lucky. I'm like, I don't feel good today. And she'll be like, okay. And she'll just sit there, she'll be quiet or whatever, and then she know I'm girl just spill the beans and just cry and everything. She give me a tissue, let me cry on it, and then she said, you good now? I be like, yeah, go on about my business.
If you're in a person's life, I think that the Lord trusts you to be able to see those ugly spots and then being able to cover those ugly spots and go on and move forward.
And living with my mom for the past 2 years, you know, that first year I was like, okay. She said, what's wrong? I'm good. I'm in the bed. She didn't understand. She couldn't process it a lot. Or that mother instinct, probably the same way I do little Jamie. But it was that thing of, you don't feel good. You probably need to call a doctor. You need to see what's going on. Your leg hurting. It was everything she wanted me to call a doctor for, and I had to really explain to her. And now in explaining it to her, if I say something hurts, she'll be like, okay.
I guess we would be just like a mom and a daughter. We just talk about stuff. That helped a lot. And we would laugh, cut up, and whatever. So just to take your mind off of some of the situations and the things that she had experienced.
My dad is that person. He is just, I was like, they don't feel good. You're going to be all right today. It's all right. It's a good day. It's hot outside. He don't even let me go there. So then sometimes I have to say, can I talk to my pastor for a minute?
I have to fight off depression. I have to fight off the gloom and doom by speaking life, being happy, being cheerful, or something to help the person not just concentrate on the illness.
Real talk, I speak to a lot of people that have autoimmune diseases, and a lot of them who were married are now not married because their spouses could not deal with that illness. And I have a big champ here. On days that I can't walk, it's not like getting in a wheelchair. It's like he picks me up. He has bathed me. He has put my clothes on. Like when I say couldn't move, like could not move my arm. And he made sure my sleeve went in. And he made sure I was perfect. He covered me. Like he never let me go out looking crazy.
Going through the things you've gone through, how do you in yourself keep from almost becoming the person that says, I'm gonna blame you for this?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I realized she didn't ask for it. You know, she didn't ask to have lupus. You know, she was something that she was born with.
I love the calm nature that everybody has around me.
She's a woman that likes to do a lot. So to have to be able to shut her down sometimes and be like, look, you're doing too much. You can't be Superwoman all the time.
It's fun, like being with a group of people that you don't feel like you're a problem, you know? Even though you may feel like you're a problem, but you're not a problem.
By her having lupus, she didn't ask for it. So it was something that we just had to go through together. And that's the best thing about it. We went through it together. We had each other, so we hit a ball with it, so.
if this illness has not done anything else, it has definitely taught us how to pray. And I thank God for not only my family, but my church family as well, because they have really stayed in the gap. And it's a privilege to have lupus. I say all the time, it was a gift. It was a gift from God to always keep me humble and to let me know that I've come this far by faith. It allows me to be sensitive to everybody around me. I realize that I'm not a burden. And I realize that they love loving me and taking care of me. And it's the best birthday that I could ever have, being with my family. 42.